YouTube. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. It's Isaac back with another video. Hope all is well. Hope everybody's doing good. It's a crazy time we're living in, man. But Jesus is good. God is good. God is greatly to be praised. I thank God. Just for what He's done, what He's doing, what He's about to do. Because even in the midst of what we're in, He's still providing for each and every one of us, and that's the main part. We still float. You know what I'm saying? Everything going down, but God. Everything going down, but the Word of God. So I thank God. This is basically part two to what I was talking about last night. When I was talking about life as we knew it before the pandemic. How we was going about, how we was going to places and we was gathering, social gatherings, going, maybe going to parties, going to, cookouts and stuff like that, going to the movies, basketball games, baseball games, whatever things that we were doing before the pandemic and even after when this is over. Life as we knew it, life as we once knew it, before the pandemic, it'll never be the same. And even after, when this is over, when it subsides, it's not gonna be the same ever again. So this is really a part two to it, and it's a lot of things that I said that I mentioned, and there's some things that I still wanted to talk about. Just give give a little perspective about pretty much what's going on. If people don't know, if you don't know, because I follow a lot of stuff. I follow current events and even past things. I'm up on stuff like that. I like to read. I read up on stuff, and I pretty much like to know what's going on currently, what may happen in the future, going forward. So I'll mention a lot of things. Mention about how the anti-crime unit for the NYPD in New York City got disbanded. On behalf of all the protests going on, people fighting for social injustices and everything like that. I spoke about the homelessness problem in New York getting out of hand. It was out of hand before, but it's like quadruple now. It's really it's ridiculous, to say the least. Because they could do more about what's going on, but they rather not fix it. You know what I'm saying? I spoke about the cashless society. What they, things that they're threatening to cut if they don't get the federal aid from the government that they're looking for. I spoke on potentially firefighters getting laid off, EMS workers getting laid off, even transit workers, being laid off, if they don't get that federal funding from the government that they're asking for. And it's crazy, man, because just like with the cashless society, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I also was speaking about how they're cutting budgets. You know what I'm saying? They cut the sanitation budget by $150 million, and the commissioner, Catherine Garcia is her name to be exact, she recently stepped down. Like with anything, when anything is going down the drain, people rather jump ship while they still can before it get really bad and get really out of hand. Before people put the blame on them, and use them as a scapegoat as to why things are bad. But it's mismanagement in every aspect, every area. You know what I'm saying? It's mismanagement, and on the MTA's part, it's mismanagement. It's mismanagement on the sanitation department's part. It's mismanagement in the fire department. Everywhere, police department, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have money for what y'all want to have money for. You can't. You telling people, they gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, even with the unemployment, why is it that it was so many people that was out of work? And I understand they probably didn't have the amount of people that they probably should have to handle this. Handle all the calls, handle all the claims that was going in and stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us was blindsided by this pandemic. Nobody knew that this pandemic was gonna occur. But you should at least put something in place. Just in case when something does happen, you don't have to be running and scrambling. You know what I'm saying? It should not have took months for people to get their unemployment. You know what I'm saying? I know that the system was overwhelmed. Um, and it's something that the system never seen before, something that they never seen before, something that never really occurred. Because people always losing their jobs, people always been on unemployment. You know what I'm saying? But this is like, this is worldwide. This is everywhere. So it's billions of people. You know what I'm saying? People wondering when they gonna get unemployment, when they gonna get unemployment. You know what I'm saying? And it took months. It took a couple months for even me to get my back pay. But even before I got my back pay, it took a long time for me to even get my payments together. You know what I'm saying? And they should have put something in place where they had the manpower to basically handle this type of volume that was going on. Especially when they knew, when it first happened and people would started claiming, that first week. You know what I'm saying? They said the numbers, people applied for unemployment, when the pandemic was when it first hit, more people applied for unemployment than the whole population in a whole other city. Basically, more people apply for unemployment versus a whole population in one city. Now that speaks volume. That should tell you something. Even with the cashless society, man. They're taking measures to put it in place. If they haven't done that already, they're putting it in place now. Because you see the signs up. You see, stores are telling people, they don't have it's a coin shortage, worldwide coin shortage, whatever. They don't have change. You know what I'm saying? They don't have enough, and pretty soon you're gonna see like they're gonna be signs everywhere saying we no longer accept cash. It's just everything's just gonna be card. Everything's gonna be electronic, digital. You know what I'm saying? Everything. You know, and I didn't think we was gonna see it in my generation, but I do believe we gonna see it. Maybe in the next couple of years. You know what I'm saying? As technology grows, as technology advances, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see signs going up that say they don't have they no longer accept cash here. You know what I'm saying? It's just gonna be straight credit or debit. That's gonna be it. In the meanwhile, the American dollar won't mean nothing. It will be worthless. Be worthless soon. That's what they doing. They taking things out of circulation. And they using the pandemic as a means to justify what it is that they doing. It's crazy. See, and even with the homeless thing, I'm sorry y'all if I'm all over the place, but it's a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff. Even with the homeless situation, man, they can fix that if they really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? All these buildings that they got going up, all these millions of dollars that they pumping into these projects, all these millions of dollars that, you know what I'm saying, these developers are paying these companies to build, the properties that they design, and you mean to tell me all these buildings that's going up in New York City right now currently, I don't know about anywhere else, but New York City specifically, because they've been building the last couple of years. They've been tearing the stuff down and rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? Like New York is overpopulated. New York City rather is overpopulated. It's too many people here already. So they've had to tear down and build back up. But you mean to tell me all those buildings that y'all building and the people that don't have a home, people that don't have a place to lay their head at night, you mean to tell me you can't put a few of them in these buildings, or just make of just make a what do you call it, a complex for the homeless, so that they could get the services that they need. You know, a lot of them is on drugs. A lot of them are suffering from mental illness. You know, a lot of them, they're paranoid. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's like, all right, you put them in a shelter. They may only be able to stay there for a night or two. Depending on the rules and regulations of the shelter. Because I know, with family shelters, at least with family shelters, you can stay with your family. So if you like if you're a single mom and you got like three kids, y'all could stay together. Or if you with your children's father, or if y'all married, husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend, whatever the situation is, at least you'll be able to stay together. Um, but I know the single men, the single men and the single women shelters are a little different. Cause you by yourself, and you gotta, you know, some of them, you can't stay in there all day. They kick you out during the day. So, you know, and there's countless shelters around the cities, man. It's two that I know of. One is on Eastern Parkway between Buffalo and Ralph, and another one is on it's a big shelter, you can't miss it. It's right off Atlantic Avenue. And a lot of these guys, a lot of these shelters, they tell you to get out during the day because you can't be there. You know what I mean? You gotta leave during the day and do whatever. So what you think these people gonna do? These people don't have nothing already going in there. You know what I'm saying? And then they gonna be out on the street all day long, begging for money, and probably trying to get a fix for their high. And it's crazy because you don't know the mental capacity of these people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they bad people, but when people in desperate situations, they'll do desperate things, and it's not safe for other people. People with families, people with kids, that live in those areas. You know what I'm saying? And even where my aunt lives, her building is half regular apartments and half shelter. So you got guys that be out of that building all times of the day, all times of the night. They just wandering. It's crazy, man. But they could do a lot, with the home situation. With in terms of housing them and in terms of feeding them. Because this country wastes so much food, man. It's sad, to say the least. These restaurants, they have food, they make food all day. They make food, they put it out, people come, people buy it. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the night, they don't reuse none of that food. And I could tell you firsthand because when I was working at the airport, before I got laid off from my job, I used to just sit back and I used to watch the operation of the line cooks and the chefs and stuff, and how things used to be. And a lot of times, even if they would just take it out like today, it could be fresh, and they could just take it out, and whatever else they don't use, from what they made, what they cooked, the manager really, sometimes tell them like, oh, don't use that, throw that away. And it's so much food being thrown away. You would think that they would at least give it to some people that are hungry, people that are really hungry. I'm not talking about the ones that ask for money, so that they could get high, or they ask for money so they can, get drunk or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or they got some story concocted to where they working on your emotions, and they want you to give to them. Nah, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people that's actually hungry, people that actually don't eat or haven't eaten for a couple days. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing for them to give that food to them so they could feed them. It's nothing. You know what I'm saying? But they rather not do that, because it's more benefits to, preying on the disenfranchised people. You know what I'm saying? The people, that have, hard times in life. People that, they didn't think, that would happen to them probably. They probably was one of those people that say, oh no, that will never be me, or that couldn't happen to me. And unfortunately, for some of them, it happened like that. You know what I mean? And some Some of them it happened like that because of the poor choices, the poor decisions that they made. You know, and it's getting crazy out here, y'all. You see everybody asking for money, and nobody they don't have no money nowhere. Supposedly, that's what they say. Everybody's asking for funding. I just saw something with the CEO of the MTA. He said that if they don't get the $12 billion that they would need from the federal government, um, that potentially 40% of the subway and buses, that's for those that don't know, that's the city buses, all the city bus lines throughout the 5 boroughs, and the subways, the number lines and the letter lines. 40% service reduction on subway and buses if they don't get the $12 billion, and additional from that if they don't get that funded. He said up to, he caught his subways. He said 70% at first. Then he changed it. He said 40 up to 50% on the Long Island Railroad and the Metro North railroads, and potentially laying off 7,400 workers if they don't get the federal funding that they need. It's mismanagement, man. Clearly, cause what y'all was doing with all that money that y'all had, what I'm saying, all the money that the MTA was getting, before, before the pandemic, and even years before that. What happened to all the money that people was paying? Because they always talk about the people that don't pay the fare, people that hop the bus, not hop the bus per se, but go to the back door, what I'm saying, or just walk on the bus and don't pay. And they often talk about the people that walk through the gates and they hop the turnstile, don't pay. They focus on that more so than the money that they bring in. And I don't believe that the money that they say they lost is equivalent to the money that's being brought in. So what are you doing with the money that's being brought in? And you supposedly don't have money. It's crazy, man. 120 workers died due to the coronavirus or other health related issues. You know what I'm saying? And excuse me, over 120 employees died, due to the coronavirus or other health related issues. And when they were advocating to have the proper PPE, as far as masks and gloves and sanitizer, stuff like that, stuff that would, keep you, germ free, stuff like that, stop the spread of the virus, they told them no, because they said that wasn't a part of their uniform. And then come to find out, they had a whole warehouse full of masks and everything that they were advocating for. They didn't get it. And then you see the president of the MTA for the union president, he was getting on there doing press conferences and saying all kind of nonsense, talking about, oh yeah, the MTA didn't give, the workers the proper PPE that they needed, and over 120, passed away due to the MTA's negligence. But y'all knew about this. Y'all knew about it. I'm sure you did. You can't tell me you didn't know. The union and the management is one and the same. You know what I'm saying? The management works against you as much as possible, and the union is kind of like the smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying? They're there, to make it seem like they're gonna fight for the membership, but they really don't. They're down with the management, so it may look on the outside like, oh, you in the union, that's great, but in reality, the union really don't really do much. That's just to make it look good, but it's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that technology is getting out of control, the fact that they're but before I get to that, but I was saying, I had another thing about the MTA that I wanted to say. Like, they don't care about the workers, nor do they care about the passengers. Because they said at first, when the pandemic was going on, they said that they was gonna cordon off the front of the bus, which they did. I get that they said that they were supposedly trying to protect the drivers, but then you have another problem because now you're cording off the front of the bus. So now everybody's crowded on the end of the bus, the back of the bus, and there's no way to social distance. Like it's impossible to social distance on the bus. You know, how are you gonna social distance when it's gonna be limited seats because the front part of the bus is cordoned off, and it's gonna be very minimal seats. And you know how people are; they gonna jump on the bus. You know what I'm saying? The bus could be full, it could be empty, and people still be running in the bus, knocking you over, trying to get to the seats. So in a couple seconds, the seats is gonna fill up, the bus is gonna fill up, and everybody gonna be on top of each other. So there's no way that you could possibly stay 6 feet away from somebody because when you try to go to the side that don't have that much people, somebody's gonna come there in that space that you're at, and they're gonna sit down, or they're gonna be on top of you. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how bad it is in New York City. You know what I'm saying? When the buses are packed, the trains are packed, people pack on there like sardines. They don't care if they don't care if somebody's testicles is in your face, they legs just spread open in your face. They're on your body, like they're basically touching you. They're in the back of you. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. They gonna get on that bus regardless. They don't care. They gonna get on that train regardless. And the fact that the MTA was negligent, with their employees tells me that they don't care about the passengers either. It's just about the dinero, the money. Y'all say y'all lost billions of dollars during the pandemic, and you knew the workers being sick. You take the covering down that you had from the front of the bus, and now you taking fares back on the bus. So before, the last couple of months of the pandemic, people were able to, basically get on the bus for free. But I mean, it really wouldn't have made a difference anyway because even before the pandemic, people was on the bus, on the bus for free anyway. So it didn't make a difference. It won't make a difference going forward either, because people still gonna find a way to do what they do. But they don't care about the workers nor the passengers. It's about the money. You know what I'm saying? So people are just now realizing that their employers, whether it's the MTA, whether it's the police department, sanitary, whatever entity you work for, they people are figuring out that they don't care. They just about the money. Because they would rather have people get sick, but they get on the news, they get in front of the cameras, photo ops. Act like our number one concern, our number one goal is the safety and health of our employees and passengers. No, it ain't. Because if it was, you would have put better methods into them being better protected than they were. And if you cared about the passengers, you wouldn't be so money hungry. They don't care. They rather the people die anyway, and they still get the money. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, they get the money. So that's that. And even like with the job, you know what I'm saying? Even with my job that I was currently working at, before I got laid off, you know what I'm saying? They was just doing things too that it was just ridiculous. Like I mentioned in my last video, when I asked my manager, I said, are we allowed to wear masks, or are y'all gonna distribute masks? And she said no. And I just looked at her like, you know what I'm saying? And now, since everybody has to have a mask and a face covering, now you have to do it. You didn't want to do it before, and even before that, even before the pandemic happened, I was saying, we should have the proper cleaning utensils, the proper cleaning products to clean these markets and stuff, clean the areas that we work at. You know what I'm saying? Because it's dirty, it's dusty, and a lot of times when you would say something, they just say anything to get you out of their face. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to deal with that. they used to have like wipes where we could wipe down, sanitize our units and stuff, but they discontinued that. you know they don't even have the proper cleaning solution. You know what I'm saying? Get some Mr. Clean in there. Get some actual like mopping detergent. You know what I'm saying? Why we gotta use a detergent that we use for the dishes, the dishwashers use to wash the dishes? You gonna tell me I gotta use that to clean the floors? And they didn't even have you know enough brooms and dustpans for everywhere. Cause it'd be times, man, I would see stuff on the floor, I'll sweep it up, or it's a spill on the floor, I mop it up. They'll have what you need one day, and the next day you come, you don't see nothing. You could have at least 10 brooms, 10 dustpans, and you come back the next day, you don't see nothing. We didn't even have enough um mop buckets. They just started ordering mop buckets, and it's good, for the first couple of days, first couple of weeks, and after that, the stuff disappears. And I'm like, hey, yo, we need this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till something happen like this to be talking about we need this. But we've been telling you that before that, way before that. You know, we trying to protect ourselves, and I know y'all trying to protect yourselves. Just like we not trying to go home to our families and bring whatever in the workplace home. Y'all not trying to bring whatever is in the workplace while y'all is in the same vicinity with us and everybody else home to y'all families either. You know, and they had money for everything else, but what we were asking for. They had money for ridiculous things. They brought new chip readers with old computers they probably had that since the company started in '96. You know what I mean? Um, they would buy products that nobody bought. They had products before, they discontinued them, brought them back. They would buy things that don't sell, and it's just like y'all have money for that, but y'all don't have money for the basic things. You know, like, yeah, they had gloves, but that was about it. They didn't have nothing, nothing else. They didn't have no masks before. They didn't have no face shields or nothing like that, because our jobs get dirty sometimes, a lot of times, especially in the kitchen. Oh my God. I bet you they got it now though. They'll probably have it now, because they're probably gonna say you have to have it now. you know. And it was just crazy, like, and I remember, they told us that the company was gonna be partnering up with Starbucks, or taking over Starbucks inside the Terminal 5 with JetBlue. They found money for that. And they said they was gonna start this thing where Amazon Go, and basically is when you go to these markets, these little stores at the little when you go to the airport, before you catch a flight, basically, these the little shops that you would see in, like, like Grand Central, 42nd Street, anywhere where it's transportation, or there's a lot of flux of people and stuff. Basically, what it was, the Amazon Go thing, is basically you go into the store and you pick out the items that you want, and it's linked to a credit card or debit card, whichever one you use. And basically, you don't have to wait on the line. You don't have to have interaction with the cashier. Basically, it's basically like how when you order online, and you see what you want, you look for what you want, and then you select that item or items, and you put it in the cart, and then you pay for it, and then you can leave. Well, in the sense that when you order online, you can leave that part, and you press add to the cart, and then you put your information in, and then you put your card information in, like that, put your information in, and then you pay for it, and you go. So in reference to what I was saying as far as the cashless society, I said, y'all doing that. Y'all partnering with Amazon to try out this new technology. And you see how they implement stuff, but they don't really do it all the way. They do it in steps. So that's one way where they take the cashier jobs away. And I said that with my other coworkers here, and I made sure they heard what I said. And she looked at me with a grin on her face because she knew what I was saying was true. Because eventually the cashier jobs are gonna be obsolete. You know, excuse me. Just like when you go to McDonald's, and in New York City, man, a lot of McDonald's, they was just looking the way they looked for years, man. It just been the last couple of years they decided to upgrade it, give it a makeover. They put all these kiosks in there, where you could order from off the thing. You don't really have to go to the cashier. All you have to do, is basically go to the screen, select what you want, look at the menu, pick out what you want, pay with your card, your debit or credit card, and then, get the receipt, and then you wait till they call your number, and then you go and get your food and you bounce. So that's how they do it. They implement that. And people think, oh, it's good. It's good. It's a great thing. It may look good on the outside, but going down the line, they're gonna eliminate jobs. You know what I'm saying? And why is it everywhere that you go? I mean, everywhere. Whether it's the check cash in place, whether it's the post office, whether it's the supermarket, wherever you go. Why is it that you got at least 20 cash registers, but there's only like sometimes maybe 5 or 6, if that, actually working? And then they have the self checkout. It's cool, because you don't really have to wait on the line with the stuff. That's like if you got little miscellaneous things. You know what I'm saying? Or you got you got a lot of stuff. You don't feel like waiting on the line, but sometimes them checkout lines be worse than the regular cashier lines. But these jobs is smartening up because they look at it like this. If we got 20 cash registers, let's just say that 20 cash registers, right? Or 20 windows in the check cash in place, or let's say 8 windows in the post office, depending on how big it is or whatever. If they can allow for you not to be on the register, not as much cashiers, if they got 20 registers or whatever, and only like maybe 5 or 6 are working, that's how they determine how they're gonna cut a lot of stuff. Because think about it. You working, right? It's 20 registers. 5 or 6 is really working. Or maybe 8 or whatever. Not a real big number, but it's just a few. And they look at that. They said, well, if it's 20 registers and it's only like 7 or 8 registers, let's say, being used, then those other 11 registers is not manned. So therefore, we don't have to pay everybody for being on the register. Either they probably might reassign you to other stuff, around the store or whatever, or they might make an unofficial, job description or whatever, or job title, So they look at it like, all right, well, 20 registers, only 8 working, 11 is not manned, so we don't have to pay for the cashiers. So that's out the way. We don't really have to pay for a lot of cashiers. So they look at that, they put the self checkouts in the stores. So that's how they implement it. Like they do it like that. They put the self checkouts, and people say, oh, we're gonna this is good, to the regular person. This is good because they figured I'm not waiting on that long line. You know what I'm saying? If I got 10 items or less, or if I got 10 or more items, I'm not waiting on that line because that line get backed up. It's like 30, 40 people in that. They gonna go to the they gonna go to the checkout more than likely. So back to what I was saying. They look at that, so they gonna cut the cost of how many people they need. So now they cut the cost down to how many people that they need, or that they would normally need. They don't need no more. So they cut down on the people first, and then they look and say, okay, well, if we don't need a lot of people, then that saves us money on the health insurance, the dental, the vision, whatever benefits that job offers. They don't have to pay that. They don't have to pay out. They don't have to pay out for that. So that's two things out the way. Less cashiers, less money being dished out to health benefits, whatever other things that they offer that'd be beneficial not only to you but your family, if they have it in place. So they don't have to pay for that. And then they hit you in your pockets, because now they say, okay, we don't need people, we don't need this many people, so we're gonna downsize it, and we're gonna have it to where, you know, we don't need a lot of people, so we don't have to pay that, that insurance or whatever, that health coverage, that they will pay. And then they start looking to cut hours, and then they cut hours. You know what I'm saying? They cut days. So now, let's say, you're working at Target. Let's say if your paycheck was, let's say, $700 every 2 weeks, or $600, $500 after taxes. Now that's gonna go significantly down, and you still ain't gonna be able to pay all your bills. And every time they do that, the little man paid for it. The people at the bottom pay for it. And the rich get mad because they be talking about taxing the rich. You should. You've been taxing us all these years, all this time, and we ain't seen the benefits of it yet. You know what I'm saying? We ain't see the benefits of what you taking out taxes out of our check before we get it go to anything useful that we could use. So you should tax the rich. Because why you think Oprah Winfrey was giving out cars and giving out gift baskets and all that stuff? Because that's a tax write-off. And to people, oh, she's a nice person, she's giving out. No, she doing that because she knows she could write that off on her taxes when they do her taxes at the end of the year. They ain't stupid. She ain't stupid. She know why she was doing that. She gave people cars one year, and they found out they had to pay on that. She paid for the cars cash, and then they thought, oh, we was in the clear. They didn't think they had to pay the taxes on that, and they got them after. I don't know what happened to the cars or the people that had the cars, whatever, but that's what happened. That's what they do, man. They don't need a lot of people. They gonna do that, and I'm looking at it like this, man. I don't think I'm going back to the job that I had. I feel like my time is up. I feel like my time is up. I feel like, I served my purpose there. There's nothing else for me to do there. There's nothing else that I could do. I did everything I could do in the 3.5 years I was there. And they didn't appreciate me anyway. That could be another video. You know what I'm saying? I could do. What happened in the workplace, or what happened since I worked there. That could be another video if y'all wanna see that, if y'all would like to see that. Yeah, man. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, but we gotta find more ways to make money. We gotta find more ways to promote what we want to do. That's one thing this pandemic showed me, especially because I wanted to do things before and I wasn't able to do. I've been talking about starting this YouTube channel for a long time, for like at least a year and a half. But I was so caught up in working for somebody else and not focusing on what I wanted to do for me. When I'm not at work, you know what I'm saying? What I'm doing outside of work, that could help me and help my family. You know what I'm saying? Have extra, streams of income, multiple things, man. I'm trying to do multiple things. I ain't trying to just be good in the spiritual things and good in things of God. I'm trying to be great. I'm trying to be even more greater in the things of God. But I'm trying to be greater as well in the natural things of life too. So, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's ridiculous, but It's your boy Isaac, back with another video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. But I just want to thank y'all for the support that I've been getting, you know. Thank y'all for subscribing, those that have subscribed. Thank y'all to those that uh, tuning in or will be tuning in. And those that have tuned in already, thank y'all for what you have done and gave to the channel thus far, because I look to put out the best content I possibly can. You know, I hope that my videos get liked just like the people that, you know, they finesse their videos, you know what I'm saying? They really make their videos come to life. They really make their videos something special. You know, I want it to be just like that. So it's your boy Isaac, back with another video. Hope you like what you see thus far, what you heard. And let's take the journey together. Let's see where this is going to take us. It's your boy Isaac, and I'm out. Peace.